Hello and welcome to Hoopscene.com's March to Macon show. We are at the Elite Eight and we are breaking down Class 3A and Class 2A Boys Basketball. I'm joined by our experts here, Justin Young, Robert Alfonso, and Eric Ellerton. I'm Mike Eddy, and we'll go ahead and dive into 3A. And Robert, talk to us about 3A. You've seen some games. We had the first two rounds play out. What'd you learn so far?
Well, I can tell you this. I know nothing about 3A basketball, considering that I had picked Morgan County to win the state title,
right,
and North Hall went down there and have done exactly what I was afraid they was going to do, which was win. And because they're a team that refuses to quit. And, you know, with Ethan Smith and Coach Benji Wood, with those two, you know, patrolling the sidelines and running their dribble drive offense up there and being able to knock down some jumpers, they went to Morgan County and really shocked the world and shocked, you know, 3A basketball and really had a lot of people going, you know, wondering, okay, who is North Hall? And they're actually going to make their second trip to the quarterfinals since 2010 when Ethan was a freshman.
Wow.
You know, to be able to get to this point. And then you also have St. Pius.
Yeah.
You know, St. Pius went on the road, you know, and they went up to Cartersville, who had only one defeat in the entire season, who was the number one ranked team at the time. And then they went up there and they said, you know what, forget this. We're going to take our guys, run our offense. And when you add the addition of 6'9", you know, Nick Harris in the middle, you just, you know, that's the great equalizer. So it's going to be interesting on that side. And, you know, let's talk about the other side when you're talking about Buford, you know, Woodward Academy. Those play it out. You know,
right.
So the bottom half of the bracket is basically a Region 7, Region 6 matchups.
Gotcha. Well, let's talk about 2A. What did you learn, Eric, when you look at the 2A brackets?
Well, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Throw it out. You know, we gave a lot of love to West Side in last week's video. We had them as one of our favorites to get to the finals, and I don't know if you call it an upset, but Blakely County went in there, said, forget what those guys think, let's go win.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. You know, they went in and beat West Side. They really jumped on them early. That was the story of the game. They jumped up 22-7 to start the game, and actually West Side outscored them each quarter after the first, but they just didn't have enough at the end to win. So, you know, I mean, I really like that matchup too of Blakely County versus Vidalia, because Vidalia is a team, they're averaging almost 90 points a game.
Yep.
You know, in the tournament, they're really scoring. They go, you know, they go 9-10 guys, and they just run and run and run, and then run some more.
Sure.
You know, and they really try to wear you down. Where Blakely County is more, they want to control the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They've got two guys in Redelius Taylor and Demario Beck who do the bulk of their scoring. So you've got one team that's got two guys that gets you buckets. You got another team that spreads the ball around.
Right.
So I think that's a real interesting matchup.
I think it's one of the top three matchups in the entire state.
Right.
To be honest with you, in this quarterfinal round.
Right.
Well, we're talking 3A and 2A Elite 8 basketball. We'd love to hear from you. So find us on Twitter at Hoopscene. Join the conversation. Hashtag March to Macon. Talk to us about that. Let's go back. Talk a little bit more 3A. As you look forward, what are some of the matchups that you're focusing on?
Well, the things that I'm focusing on in the top half of the bracket, it's for me is going to status quo. You know, I still have the Savannah teams moving on forward. You know, they're not playing far from home. Then they're going to turn around and when both teams choose to win, and please go ahead and win, you know, that they will both be playing in Savannah, which is basically a stone throw away for both programs. And that will play a major part regardless of what goes on the bottom half of the bracket.
Well, I think when you look at Class 3A, you have to rely on your stars. Savannah Johnson has a star, guys, and Tim Quarterman, who's going to LSU. They go on the road. They play at Carver, probably one of the toughest places to play in South Georgia and Columbus. A lot of athletes, good crowd, hostile environment. Quarterman goes in there, guys, has a tremendous second half, finishes with 28 points. You got to ride guys like that. And more importantly, probably the most important thing, we need the Adam Smashers to win
Right.
because the Adam Smashers is the best mascot still left in the
Yes,
bracket.
that's a great name.
We need those guys to stick around just for some nostalgia's sake.
That's right.
But I agree with you. I think we're setting this up for a really good day and a really interesting day. Assuming North Hall and Buford win, and assuming Savannah and Savannah Johnson win, those are four teams from two regions, and they're playing Bolton, Armstrong, Atlantic for the Final Four. I think that could set up for probably the best Final Four atmosphere in all of our atmospheres we have in the state of Georgia.
And that's a great point, Justin. And actually, the 4 teams that I have towards my Final Four on it, I believe Johnson or Savannah will be there, along with North Hall. And then you turn around and you have Savannah playing Buford, because Buford is really playing like a true ball club this year. And actually, even the other night, A.J. Davis put on an SEC level performance with 32 points. And the Tennessee signee, he's looking to get himself another ring. But I think more importantly, he's looking to get his coach and that community a ring.
And they're full of seniors. You know? I mean, they aren't lacking in senior leadership. So, to see how they've pulled together here at the end of the season and making a run, that's no surprise because they do have experience on the floor.
And you talk about Buford playing Woodward Academy guys. Talked to a lot of college coaches that are coming to Atlanta for that game. There's a lot of unsigned seniors. Kyle Doyle from Buford, to me, being the best of the bunch. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs outside of just high school basketball. They're going to be watching that game on Wednesday night.
Well, Robert, who do you have? Give us your Final Four now, since your whole bracket was smashed.
I know, right?
What do you got
it was
now?
Obliterated, but I still have Johnson, like I said, versus North Hall advancing, as well as Savannah moving on with Buford. And here's the tricky part. This is where I'm going to go ahead and still go with the Quarterman pick, and move them into the finals. As Buford still stays there, and as Buford was kind of quick to let me know that I picked the wrong team to win the title, we're going to pick y'all.
You're going to change.
Well, I'm going to change it this time because my team is out now. The team that I picked is out. So you could either consider that a hoop scene curse or hoop scene kiss. Either way, good luck.
And last word, Eric, give us the 2A. Give us your Final Four and finals.
Yeah, I spoke about the Vidalia-Blakely County matchup. I like Vidalia coming out because they're going to be at home.
Yeah,
and they're going to put up points at home. On the lower side of the bracket, I love that Jordan team from Columbus. Ranked 5th in the state coming into the tournament. They were one of the teams I had getting there. So I like them coming out. They put up a lot of points too. That'll actually be a really good Final Four matchup if Vidalia and Jordan play. They may score 120 points each in that game. Then across the way, the game that I think a lot of people had marked is GAC in Manchester. Because Manchester same round last year, Manchester knocked GAC out. So, GAC is looking for a little revenge. I have them advancing and playing Laney out of Augusta. And, who would have thought? I looked at it and I said that Region 3 is a really tough region. And I expected those teams to do well in the tournament. Lo and behold, Laney's the only one left. So I'm having to go with Laney out there with GAC and Jordan playing for the championship and GAC winning it.
All right, the Gwinnett County team. Well, that wraps our 3A and 2A show, hoopscene.com's March to Macon. Find us on Twitter at Hoopscene and join the conversation, #March to Macon.